We're live. I see a timer clicker. Anyway, so Jason, Jordan, how are you today?
I'm doing well.
Great. So where are we?
We're at the Seattle VR event for
Okay.
June. It's
June.
a healthcare one.
What's today's date?
Oh, goodness. June 2018.
Okay.
That narrowed down?
That's fine. But let's take a walk since I think we can go.
Before we lose the internet?
Well, I mean, I think it's strong here. For some reason, it won't go on Facebook, but to go to YouTube, it's.
I'm going to bring this in.
Thanks, Dan. We're just closing up.
Okay.
So we had a great event.
Okay.
Dan, you can leave it up and bring it in.
Oh, leave the lights up?
Yeah, it's fine. They're gonna set up again anyway. So we're just breaking down after another successful monthly Seattle VR event.
Okay. So how
And
many years have you been doing this?
Since 2014.
2014. Wow. Every month?
Yeah,
Wow.
every month since then. And so sometimes we're here at the Seattle Center and at the Pacific Science Center, and sometimes we're at different events or different places around Seattle. And sometimes it's focused on VR, sometimes AR, sometimes MR.
Okay.
And every single time we do this, somebody new is coming in and having a great time.
That's
and
great.
and we also have a bunch of people here from the hackathons that
Right.
we run as well. And there are about 12 to 15 different events.
Okay.
Absolutely fantastic. Get people together, virtual reality, learning something they've never learned before. Fantastic.
Great.
Learning some really great stuff.
What was the last you saw from the medical?
Tonight, actually, I saw a 13-year-old kid get himself hooked into VR, and he had electrodes hooked up to his hand. And as he was listening to the VR experience, it was telling him, what we want you to do is imagine or exams or something. And you could see his heart up in VR, and it said, okay, now calm yourself down. And it was because it was pulling all that data from him. He could see the floating boxes then out and mellowed out, started floating. How his physical reaction was significantly impacting. It was real. That visual, it'll be more in control of his own emotions.
Right. Seattle 2017, 2018, VR is the biggest thing. Right?
Absolutely.
So we have Amazon, we have Google.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? I mean, platform VR, but still.
Yeah, Pluto VR. So one of the main creators, Microsoft, is doing it. Facebook decided to open up an entire engineering center up here in Seattle because they realized all the other big players were here. They needed to move their Oculus team up here as well. So Seattle is really not just the heart of VR for the hardware manufacturers.
In gaming.
Yeah, it's kind of the middleware between the amazing content. And Seattle has always been that middleware, which is why the cloud exists here in Seattle, right?
Okay.
Microsoft's got their Azure cloud and Amazon's got AWS. So we're always creating that middle layer stuff. And what we find in Seattle for the VR scene, it is expanding out of that to make it easier to make VR and AR. So not just, also a ton of learning something and saying, how can I create some absolute fantastic?
What's interesting, computer science background.
Anybody.
You get it.
Everybody from every discipline. It does not matter whether you've ever done anything in VR. Sometimes we PM to keep track of getting them from start. Sometimes you need people.
Right.
Sometimes you need programmers that already build things you need people. I have this. I think I've seen something else. I want to. There's always opportunity. And the hackathons in Washington are all week. Have people from doing really stuff. Some of the stuff tonight was a couple of months.
To the point that some of those actually turned into good idea.
And they get funded because there's always somebody willing to throw a little bit of money at some VR projects because you never know how big they're going to get.